So in 2006 was when I first introduced Oman to circuit racing. I was the first Omani circuit racer from the country to be competing internationally. But it's honestly way before 2006 when everything started, because when I was a young kid, it was my father and mother who really introduced me to sports in general. I remember my mom always driving me to different activities, sporting activities. I think what my parents and mainly my mom saw at that time was get him into a sport that would take his time, dedication, and create a strong mind. Sports and being involved in sports really creates a big advantage for anyone practicing it. Also, my elder sister, who I looked up to a lot from an athletic point of view, she was fast on her feet compared to me, fast behind a race car. And I think being surrounded with a family that were always motivated to achieve number one and to be the best and the fastest has played an enormous part of my upbringing. Us currently in Oman, we've witnessed some great results from both male and female sporting athletes. For sure, we'd love to see a lot more women compete in different aspects of all the different games, from football, from tennis and so on. But I truly believe that we can achieve this by having stronger academies, stronger foundations, and I think the next generation of parents have all maybe witnessed a bit of it themselves growing up. In terms of circuit racing, in terms of motorsports itself, we're completely different. And I am biased to what I do, but at least for us, it's not about male and female competitions. It's not like football and tennis and all the other sports where you have a dedicated male championship and a dedicated female championship. In motorsports, we all, under the helmets, we're all racing against one another. A lot of people don't really realize that we actually have a one championship for male and females. I personally have raced with female teammates. They've been really quick. And it's never been, oh, am I going to be beaten by a woman today on a racetrack? It's never been that. I'm going to be beaten by someone, hopefully I don't get beaten at all, but if I do, by someone who deserves it and who has been quicker than us as a team. And I remember, in one of the most hardest and most difficult races was the first time I had a female, co-driver, co-partner in the car. In our sports, it's not like rally where you have a driver and someone reading the notes. It's everybody behind the wheel at that specific time, and she was really quick. I also remember in 2019, in one of the toughest championships in Europe, the 24 hours of Spa, very difficult conditions. We won that race in our category, but at the same time, in third position, there was a crew with both a male and a female driver, and in one of the hardest competitions ever. I believe that the respect is there, and I think that if we're able to achieve and do what motorsports has taught us in these grassroots projects, and especially when we look at different academies here in Oman, for example, you see a lot of young football academies having male and female or children, play against each other, and the talent is what is out there. Once someone is talented, they'll be scouted, they'll be found, and will be able to really represent their country, their nation in such a way that makes us all very, very, excited to see them, achieve great results. And for me, I tend to look back at how I started, the challenges that I had faced, and I wouldn't compare it to the challenges a female athlete would face. So I do understand that it's still a long way and it's hard, but I believe we're in the right path. I believe that now in 2020, we've been achieving great results as a nation in sports, and I think that the more people understand and realize how beneficial it is for a nation, I think we'll see a lot more athletes from both the genders, and hopefully more from the female gender as well. We, as athletes, we should understand that we should always try and present ourselves the best ways possible. You should always, find what makes a right partner in the program that you're doing. And sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of weight is given to the athlete themselves, while there should be other bodies really taking care of the financial side of things. That's the harder bit. I always say that it's actually harder for me pre-season than actually racing itself. It's harder for me to race, to get the funds and to achieve what Oman Racing stands for before we actually even go onto the racetrack. And I think that's what motivates us. And then as an advice to the young athletes coming through, you know, it's very important to try and get as much support as you can from your family. In the last few years, we had, as a country, produced a great tennis player, female tennis player, who everyone can name as of now. But if you look at it from a male side of things, unfortunately, I personally can't name any male professional tennis player who's been there for so long at this very moment. So it shows you a sign that we are able to compete in any gender. It's about really having a good progression and a youth development program that will take us to the next level. I hope that more and more fathers get involved in what their younger daughters would be wanting to do or experiencing, in that, to be together with them. And I see it a lot on the track. I see it a lot on the racetrack, where the families are bonded by sports. For me, you know, having a younger daughter, a younger son, I'd give them the equal grounds on where they would like to go in sports. And I would love for them to be a part of sports, because in being a part of sports really, I think, takes a lot of the negativity that you could get from not being a part of sports in your life. And I really hope that we're able to push as hard as we can in the right direction. And that is a proper grassroots project, developing future champions.